Welcome back. This is Rito here with another Terraria Journey's End item showcase. Today we are going to be looking at the Eventide, and for those of you who have been watching the channel for a while, you'll recognize this as Anna the Archer's Castle. I've brought Anna the Archer into 1.4 because we are going to be doing a bow weapon showcase, and there's no one better to do a bow showcase than Anna the Archer. This is the castle and character that I used for my first playthrough on this channel. It was such a fun Calamity Revengeance mode bow only playthrough. But let's take a look at this awesome new bow that was added in the 1.4 update. I love the colors and it just looks so cool. The sprite also looks really incredible. It really resembles the boss that you get it from, which is the Empress of Light. And the Empress of Light is a post-Plantera boss, and I made a whole video about it and how to collect these boss summon and everything. Basically, you need the prismatic wings, which spawn in the Hollowed at night. And they're just little butterflies. If you kill the butterfly, it will summon the boss. I've got the Eventide rolled to Unreal, and it has 102 range damage and 46% critical strike chance with all of the gear that I've currently got equipped. I'm using the Vortex armor. And then I've got these accessories right here, which are a combination of defense, movement, and damage. If you compare the stats to the other really powerful bows in the game, like the Phantasm and the Tsunami, it's actually pretty close, but we'll have to test it on a target dummy and some bosses to see how it compares to the Tsunami and the Phantasm. So now let's go ahead and test the Eventide against a target dummy. So on a single target, without our stealth active, we're doing about 2,000 damage. But if we double tap down and activate our stealth, you can see we're getting up to 3,000, 3,400, even up to almost 4,000 right there. Now let's go ahead and try it on multiple targets. Right now we're shooting through 5 dummies, and our damage has gone up to above 10,000, and even I saw 11,000 for a second there if you get lucky with the critical strike chance. So when we double tap down, I've seen our damage get all the way up to 19, but more consistently like 16, 17,000. One really cool thing about this bow is that it converts wooden arrows or arrows from the Endless Quiver into this awesome rainbow colored arrow. So this allows you to have an endgame bow that has infinite awesome arrows, which I think is really great. So you don't have to worry about farming up Luminite or holy arrows or anything like that because you have just an amazing arrow just from your Endless Quiver. For that reason, I think this is always going to be a good weapon to have if you're a ranger, especially if you are an archer class. So let's go ahead and try this out on some bosses really quickly. Let's summon the King Slime first and see how this goes against the King Slime. I already have a feeling this is going to do insanely well. You can see such quick work on the King Slime. And let's try this on this boss right here, the Golem. We've got the head to come off already. And we've got both of the hands destroyed, and I think we defeated him already. So very impressive against the Golem. One interesting thing about the Eventide is that it shoots 5 projectiles, and you can see if you move your cursor, you can kind of get them to scatter quite a bit. Another thing that's really helpful to know about this item is that if you have your cursor really far away, you have really good accuracy with the bow, but if you have your cursor just right here, you can see the spread is much bigger. So it's like a shotgun if you keep your cursor right by your character. So it's best if you're fighting enemies, to have your cursor a little bit farther out, unless you really want to have that more shotgun effect. Then you keep it just right next to your character and your spread will be much larger. The other thing I wanted to test is how different arrows affect this weapon. So you can see right here, we're shooting Luminite arrows, but we're still shooting one of those Eventide kind of rainbow colored arrows. So if you're using your normal wooden arrows, you're shooting 5, but one of them is going to be doing extra damage. And then if you switch over to like Luminite, you're still going to have that extra damage arrow, but you're also going to shoot 4 Luminite arrows. So let's go ahead and compare the damage. Right here we're doing 4,000, so this is actually quite a bit of an improvement if you switch to Luminite with the Eventide. If we double tap our armor effect, then we are all the way up to 6,000, even 7,000 for a second there if we get lucky. And then if we try that on multiple enemies here, it is crazy. We're doing 25,000 damage. It also works with Chlorophyte arrows. You can see we're doing good damage here. Although I'd probably skip Chlorophyte and just use the normal Eventide arrows because on multiple targets it's not going to pierce and do as much damage. Still, if you're doing a multiple target scenario, you'll want to go with your wooden arrows. If you're doing single target, I could see Eventide being fairly useful with holy arrows, but really your main thing is go with wooden or luminite. Those are probably your best options here. Now that it's nighttime, let's go ahead and try this against a few more bosses, and maybe we'll even apply some buffs. There's the Eye of Cthulhu. That happened very quickly. Let's summon all 3 mechanical bosses and see how this goes. It's doing some pretty good work. Yeah, we can really hit the Destroyer hard with this and its piercing abilities. Okay, let's go ahead and finish off the twins. And now we just need to focus on Skeletron. Yeah, we already got the Destroyer, so now we just finish off Skeletron. Very powerful. You can defeat the Mecha Mayhem pretty easily there. Another really cool thing about this weapon is it has the ability to have different colors depending on the name of your character. It's very similar to how the Last Prism changes colors with the name of your character if you have special developer names. And it's also a similar effect to a lot of the other weapons that are dropped by the Empress of Light. And so let's go ahead and try just one of those. I know that Chaos has his special colors, so let's go ahead and make a character called Chaos. And with a character named Chaos, you can see the arrows turn green, which is a really cool effect. And there's several other effects for the different developers, so let me just show you some of the options. So if you look through here, you got Redigit, which is purple, Senix, which is pink and green, Loki, which is red and black, Yorzor, which is pink, Chrono, which is purple, Lazar, which is pink and blue, Lenifers, which is purple, Ghoststar, which is white and blue, Chaos, which is green and black, and Darthmorph, which is red and black. So that's how you change the different color effects. You'll need to create a new character with a new name that matches those. In my opinion, the normal rainbow effect is quite cool, so I just stick with that one. But if you're interested in getting some other different effects, those are available. Lastly, I wanted to compare the damage of other bows to the Eventide. So with the Tsunami, we're doing about 2,000 with wooden arrows, 2,300 or so. And if we use the Phantasm, we're doing about 3,000, 3,200, 3,300. So yeah, the Phantasm's definitely more powerful, and Tsunami with Luminite is going to be more powerful just by a little bit, but on multiple targets, it's actually pretty similar. The Tsunami is actually going to be pretty similar to the Eventide. I'd say one of the main benefits of having the Eventide over the Tsunami is that the arrows will be converted from wooden arrows, and so it's really nice to just have your endless quiver and shoot lots of really good arrows. I still think it's a really useful weapon for an archer class, even if you have the Tsunami, which is pretty similar, and the Phantasm, which is a little bit better. And that concludes our showcase of the amazing Eventide bow. I love the effects and the sprite. It's just a really powerful, awesome bow, and I'm really glad they added it to the game. Like I said earlier, it can be obtained from defeating the Empress of Light. I hope you all enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. I also post lots of other Terraria 1.4 content, including item showcases and a Master Mode Let's Play series. So if you're interested, be sure to check those out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.